All right, we need to talk. Because there are some huge mistakes that millions of us pet owners are making every single day. And the really scary part? We don't even realize they're slowly but surely damaging our pet's health. So let me ask you this. Are you making one of these mistakes right now? I know you love your pet, you take care of them, you play with them, but there's a hard truth that we have to face. You see, sometimes our best intentions, those little daily habits that feel like we're showing love, can actually morph into serious long-term health problems. So today, we're going to break down 6 of the most common mistakes and, more importantly, how you can fix them, starting right now.
Let's kick things off with the first 2 mistakes, and they both revolve around something we do every single day, feeding our pets. Now, these are probably the most common slip-ups because honestly, they feel completely harmless.
Yeah, this one is number 1 for a reason. It's just so easy to do, isn't it? You think, one more little treat won't hurt, or you give them a little extra in their bowl because they look so cute. It's a small gesture of love, right? Well, the thing is, over time, it absolutely hurts. And the consequences are, well, they're severe. Overfeeding leads straight to obesity. That puts this incredible strain on their little bodies, causing awful joint pain and serious heart problems. But here's the part that should really hit you. Overweight pets live shorter lives. That extra scoop, that extra treat, it is literally costing them precious time with you. Okay, but the good news? The fix is actually pretty straightforward. It just takes a little discipline. You've got to follow the proper portion sizes for your pet's specific breed and weight. Cut way back on the treats, no matter how much they give you those puppy dog eyes, and try to stick to a consistent feeding schedule. You have to ask yourself, am I feeding my pet's hunger, or am I just feeding my own need to feel like a good owner? And that leads us right into the second big feeding danger. You know, giving your dog a little piece of your steak or letting your cat lick the yogurt container. It feels like sharing, right? Like you're including them in the family. But for your pet, this can be like playing Russian roulette with their health. Here's the deal. A lot of our favorite foods are actually toxic to our pets. We're talking about really common stuff: chocolate, grapes, onions, garlic. Even tiny amounts of these can cause immediate serious damage. The bottom line is this: what's safe for you is not always safe for them. If you have any doubt at all, just don't do it. All right, let's move on to our next 2 mistakes. Now, these are all about paying attention, or more accurately, the danger of not paying attention. This is where just ignoring the small stuff can lead to the absolute biggest problems. I want you to picture this. Your pet seems a little off, maybe a bit more tired than usual, or they're not as excited for dinner. It is so easy to just brush that off and think, they're just having a lazy day. But you have to understand, those tiny signs can be the very first whisper of a much bigger storm brewing inside them. This quote, it's everything. Think about it. By the time the symptoms are so obvious that you can't ignore them anymore, an illness might already be in a very serious, advanced stage. You have to learn to watch for those subtle changes. You have to listen to the only voice they have. Okay, I need you to really lean in and listen to this next one, because this is the mistake that, according to the research, almost everyone is guilty of at some point, and it might just be the most critical one on this entire list. There it is, skipping regular vet checkups. So many of us, we think of the vet as a place to go only when something is obviously wrong. But like we just said, by then, it could be way too late. Regular checkups aren't for when your pet is sick. They are to keep your pet from getting sick in the first place. And I want you to let that sink in for a second. A simple, routine visit can catch hidden diseases, infections, and all kinds of early warning signs you would never, ever spot on your own. Being proactive isn't just safer for your pet. Trust me, it is almost always cheaper in a long run than facing a massive emergency vet bill down the road. All right. Let's wrap up with our final 2 mistakes. These are about the world we create for our pets every day. Their routine, their environment. There are these subtle forms of neglect that can have a massive negative impact on their quality of life. So on one side, you've got a lack of exercise. Our pets are not meant to just lie around all day. It leads to weight gain, sure, but also stress and all sorts of behavioral problems. A bored pet is an unhealthy pet, period. And then on the other side, you've got poor hygiene. You know, dirty fur, bad breath, these aren't just cosmetic things. They are open doors for skin infections, painful dental disease, and nasty parasites. The fix here is all about building simple, consistent habits into your everyday life with them.
Daily walks and active playtime, they are absolutely non-negotiable. So is mental stimulation, things like puzzle toys to keep their brains working. And of course, regular grooming and some basic dental care. It's simple. A clean, active pet is a healthy pet. So we've gone through all 6 mistakes. But before we finish, I want to just zoom out for a second because this is all really about one single thing. It's about responsibility. Just think about that. Really think about it. For their food, their water, their safety, for their health, for their happiness, literally everything. It's an unbelievable amount of dependence that they place entirely on you. And they do it completely, unconditionally. That trust is the absolute bedrock of your entire relationship with them. And that, right there, is why all of this is so important. They can't use words to say, I'm in pain, or that food you're giving me is making my stomach hurt. So every little mistake we make becomes our job, our responsibility to notice and to fix. But listen, here's the most important takeaway from this whole thing. This isn't about making you feel guilty. Not at all. It's about empowerment. These mistakes, they might seem small, but now you have the knowledge to correct them. You can make these changes. You can start making their life better today. So I'm going to leave you with this one last question to really think about. When you look at their daily diet, their activity, their health, their whole environment, is your pet truly living a full, happy, vibrant life? Or are they just existing? The power to decide which one it is, well, that's entirely in your hands.